Welcome back, everyone, for a real interview. It is our it's our friends from Alon Planning Partners, Jay and Brittany Hagee. Guys, how are you?
We are wonderful,
Hello.
Steve.
I know you had Bridget last time, and Brittany, you told me you slept through it.
No, the whole thing, the whole time.
No,
Knocked me out.
we got to settle with you this time, so we're okay.
Get the minor leaguer. Well, guys, first of all, you're doing great. You're giving advice. I love the fact, and getting to know you as we have well over a year now, is that you really do care about people and you practice what you preach.
100%. I mean, the reason that we even got into this business model in the first place is we wanted to see the education that we had learned be brought to the masses, right? We want to make sure that people understand the risk that they're taking, the reward that they're getting, the allocation of their portfolios, the full comprehensive financial plan with tax planning and estate planning, and making sure that's brought to life and not just someone sold a product from a financial services institution. So we want to make sure that we're a real family business working with real families, and so we love to do what we do.
Well, I want to ask you today about something that people know we know each other, and that's normally a bad thing for you, but it's actually a good thing. They'll say, I wonder what their financial philosophy really is. I mean, what do they really think about? And that question's come up here.
Yeah, and this is something that we're going to share a bit of our own story, kind of probably in response to that. But this is something we want to encourage everyone to think about for themselves. We talk a lot about our money mindset, how we think about our money, and really creating your own financial philosophy. Now, don't be overwhelmed by, I have to create my own financial philosophy. It's not this big hole. No, it's just narrowing down. What do I think about my money?
Set of standards.
What are the values around this concept of finances? And how do I make decisions about my money? How do I invest? How do I save? How do I give? What does that look like for me in my household? So that's kind of a baseline when we're talking about finances, because that once you have those kind of non-negotiables in place, it helps you make every other financial decision. I don't care if it's buying a car, I don't care if it's taking a vacation, if it's how you invest, if it's when to retire, all of those answers can come from the non-negotiables.
That's right.
That kind of give that foundation.
So we have 4 standards that we live by. The first one is we know that money is not our source, that God is our source. And if we know that God is our source and money is not, we know that money is a great tool to use to bless people and to be blessed, but it is a terrible master.
And it takes a lot of anxiety out of it when you give it to the Lord.
That's exactly right.
That's
why we founded Alon to begin with. Alon's actually the Hebrew word for oak tree, which in the Psalms it talks about those who put their trust in the Lord are like this oak tree that's planted by the water. So we create financial plans that hopefully echo that, right? Because we know ultimately our trust is in the Lord. And we meet with a lot of folks who may or may not believe that same way, and that's okay, but we're grounded in our practice by that. And when we make financial decisions, we first say, money's not our source. So if we're taking a faith step and it's a big risk, we know who's in control, right? And that is God as our source number one. And that's how we.
And money's not our master. Money serves us. We don't serve it.
So
that's kind of another along those same lines, non-negotiable. Like we don't serve money. That's not what drives our decision making or what we do with our money. It's got to work for us. It's a tool. That's all it is.
So that's number one.
This isn't and these are just examples. We're sharing a bit of our personal, philosophy around all this, just to help you really begin thinking about what could mine be, or what is it that drives my decision making? Because we want to, everyone who's listening, we want you to really nail down what this looks like for you. It doesn't have to look like it looks for us, but nailing down what your specific philosophy is. Just a few little points like we're going to share.
Yeah, the second one is purpose. And so we want our money and our financial plan to be on purpose, for a purpose, with a purpose, right? And so if we're looking at that, on purpose means we're doing intentional planning. We're taking time to do the allocation, the investment management, the tax planning, the estate planning. We're looking into each of these categories with purpose, right? So it's on purpose. It takes time. It takes dedication. And we ask everyone that comes
It's
in,
intentional.
you're going to have to be intentional
Yeah.
with your planning. That's what we help you with, right? So the second one is for a purpose. We're goal-based planners. So meaning like this bucket of money or what we're using this for is for retirement, or it's for paying off debt, or it's for getting a new vehicle, or whatever it may be for, is going to direct and influence how we invest those buckets of money, right? So on purpose, for purpose, and with purpose. We want to make sure that everything that we're doing in our financial philosophy is with the purpose of our household, right? It stands with our values.
It's
and our
aligned.
value
It's
systems.
aligned with our overall vision, right? That's kind of the core, with purpose. That's
So anyways, when you're looking at this for your family, say, well, how does Jay and Brittany do it? One is we're looking at money is not our source, God is. And second, we do everything we do with purpose, whether it's the intentional planning, whether it's aligned with our visions, or whether it's for a goal that we're looking to do. We look at purpose, okay?
Another one would be making decisions guided by sound judgment, informed by understanding, expertise, and belief. So not going it alone, really. Not doing it by yourself. But for us personally, what that looks like is we have mentors that we connect with and we process decisions with. We have other trusted professionals in other fields when we are making decisions about money. Hey, like even like with real estate, okay? We're not experts in real estate. We speak with people who are when we're making those decisions, right? So we take sound advice from others who are in those fields when we're looking at making an investment or, even a purchase or whatever it is that we're doing.
So when we
not
tell you,
going it
come
alone.
see us and come get a complimentary consultation, it's not because we just want your business. We truly live by a set of standards that we actually perform this as well. Whenever we're looking to make a decision, we want to have a multitude of counselors, right? Because we want to make a wise decision. So that's what we look for when we're making in our personal philosophy. So that's just some high level key points. I mean, we could dig down and talk about this for hours because it's actually how we live and what we do. But the key points are there is money is not your God. Money is not your source. God is. Do everything you do on purpose, with purpose, and for purpose. And then, last but not least, don't make emotional decisions and don't go alone. Those are really the core components of our financial philosophy that drives the decision-making process no matter what we're doing.
How we spend, invest, save, utilize our money should align with our values.
Yep.
That's the purpose behind it. So we want to help folks that we work with create their own standard of non-negotiables, right? So that you can then make sound decisions moving forward and be equipped yourself to know, hey, here's how I do this. Here's how I get to where I want to be. So that's just kind of foundational when we're talking finances. Now that's the beginning. From there, we talk the actual investment strategy. How? Let's talk about your specific purpose. Let's talk about your specific values. And we want to apply your purpose and your values to how we advise you, right? Because this isn't about us. This is about you.
That's right.
This is about your money and your vision for your future. And it's our goal to help you get there.
We're just giving you an example today of what that should look like.
Yeah, because the way that we know how to help you get to where you want to be is by hearing your set of values, your set of principles,
That's
or
right.
your financial philosophy. So that helps us a ton when we sit down with folks who say, hey, here are kind of the non-negotiables. Here's the core beliefs or core values. Here's the most important things when it comes to my financial situation. And then we can use that to build out a strategy, a plan, investment allocation, all of that to help them get to their end goal.
It's Alon Planning Partners, our friends Jay and Brittany Hagee. All right, how do we get a hold of you?
423-315-1441 or allonplanning.com, ALLON planning.com. We would love to sit down with you and talk through your personal financial philosophy.
Investment advisory services are offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The content provided is intended for informational and educational purposes only. The views, statements, and opinions expressed herein are those of the individual speakers and not necessarily those of Foundations and its affiliates. The information contained herein does not constitute an offer to sell any securities or represent an express or implied opinion or endorsement of any specific investment opportunity, offer, offering or issuer. Any discussion of performance or returns is not indicative of future results. Each individual investor's situation is different, and any ideas provided may not be appropriate for your particular circumstances. Foundations only transacts business in states where it is properly registered or is excluded or exempted from registration requirements. Registration as an investment advisor is not an endorsement of the firm by securities regulators and does not mean the advisor has achieved a specific level of skill or ability. No legal or tax advice is provided. Always consult with a tax professional. All rights reserved.